dogs. My own mother loves her dog Magita more than she loves us kids. So no wonder one time when they interviewed a whole bunch of guys to see if they would choose the girlfriend or wife or the dog, they pick the dog. And that is why I don't buy a dog. So anyway, today we're going to make a wonderful homemade cookie with peanut butter, whole wheat, and little pieces of bacon. We're going to start by creaming together 1 cup of peanut butter and 1 cup of milk. Skim milk. Into our peanut butter and milk mixture, we're going to add 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour. 1 cup of regular all-purpose flour. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And we're going to mix that really good. I usually add fresh parsley, but I didn't have any, so I got some fresh thyme instead. Of course, we know dogs love bacon, so we're going to add 3 strips of bacon. They're already cooked and crumbled, and the oil, all the fat where the bacon was cooked. One time we were babysitting our grand dog. He was crying, so my husband brought him with bacon. Except he wanted bacon every 2 minutes. So that didn't work. Okay. We're going to knead our dough for about 3 minutes, so we're going to change to that kneading hook. And what I like to do, I'm going to store my dough in the refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes. Be firmer and easier to roll out. So I will sandwich it in 2 pieces of plastic wrap. And if I do a flatter disc, it chills faster. So there we go. Refrigerator. Feels really good. Between parchment paper on the bottom and plastic wrap on the top. The plastic wrap on top allows me to see very well if there's any cracks. So we roll it you roll it to about 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. Peel the plastic wrap really good, and I have my cookie shapes. I have a heart, 2 hearts. And I leave it there. With a dull knife, I start to remove the edges. It just peels away really easy. But I never move the cookies, they stay there on the parchment paper. We'll re-roll this. We'll re-roll the scraps later. And squeeze one more here. The easiest way to transfer your cookies is to slide them on the back of your cookie sheet. There we go. So I have room for more. Boom. All right, we're ready to bake. ready to bake them in a 375-degree oven for 20 minutes. Next, we transfer our cookies to a cooling rack so they cool completely underneath as well. Now we're going to make a second recipe with salmon because we love our dog and our dog loves us. Okay? So I understand the dogs love salmon. They love fish. So let's make one. This is a much smaller recipe. It will make about 5 cookies. It depends on the size of the cookie mold you use. But we're using 1 can of salmon. It's about 5 ounces. So we're going to mix together the salmon. And also we're going to add half a cup of sweet potatoes that have been boiled in water and mashed. About 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley. We add half a cup and 1 tablespoon of whole wheat flour. 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. And we mix this. I have to confess, I am not a very patient person. So my dough was not chilling fast enough, so what you can do, you can stick it in the freezer, and that will work too, especially if it's thin like this. So let's roll 10-15 minutes. So let's roll our salmon dough for our salmon treats. Feels a little wet, so I'm sprinkling a little bit of the flour so that the dough stays together and not too sticky. How gorgeous is that? For this one, because it's made out of salmon, I like to do a sharky. The salmon dough, it's not like the peanut butter one. This one is a lot wetter. Slide. 30 minutes. Ooh, they look so adorable. Now, this is totally optional, but if you like your doggy treats to be really crispy, like most dogs like them, once you're done baking all your cookies, you turn off your oven and you leave the door open. And then you put your cookies inside and leave them there for another hour and a half. Make sure that your cookies are on a cookie tray like this so air circulates underneath, otherwise they might get soggy underneath. Another thing, your cookie cutters can get expensive, so if you wash them with soap and water, in this instance I had no choice, I couldn't just wipe them really good because it had that salmon flavor. Make sure you dry them really good, and then to make sure there's no humidity whatsoever, you leave them inside the oven together with the cookies, and they will dry out really good and remove any excess humidity. I know, it sounds paranoid, huh? If you get a chance, make doggy treats. You will feel so good and he will be so happy. Since I don't have a dog, I'm going to share all these cookies with my friends. Most of them have dogs and they're going to be so happy.